She said, you better do a sleep lab because you're strange. A sleep lab? I don't need a sleep lab. I have a sleep number bed. I'm sleeping great. Every day I get my pulse rate and my breathing, and I think the restless moments through the nights are the dogs. They get up and they walk on me. I think that's what those orange spikes are on my chart. It's not me not sleeping well. In most instances, it's the dogs climbing on top of me that are setting off the Sleep IQ alarm at the supercomputer database there at the Sleep IQ number computer center. Anyway, this is going to make a great video. I wish I was drinking right now. You used the word urethra in your ending, so I'm putting that up front so people probably want to click off so they won't have to go to the ending. Or maybe they'll just take the little slider, go all the way to the ending. Oh my God! What could he be talking about? And you'll take the slider and you'll go to the ending, and then you'll go, well, I shouldn't have done that because that wasn't very exciting. And you take the slider and come back to this part and start over again. Howdy, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the art villa found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. First of all, I'd just like to start out by saying welcome to the UPS man's wife, the delivery man, the UPS delivery man, his wife. Hello. It's a small world, weird world, and I've been doing this for 4 years, and I got, you know, my whole life, old man life's up on YouTube, and the UPS man pulled in the driveway today, and it's a nice day. I'm doing some things which I'll explain. So I walk out to get the package. He hands me the package and he says, "Hey, are you still making those videos on YouTube?" And my mouth about hit the floor. The driveway. Oh my God. I said, well, what? Should I admit to this? I don't know how he found you. My wife collects 45s. I got a jukebox. I think she found me on YouTube looking for record collectors, I think. Isn't that weird? It was a great moment. It was a great moment. So what are you doing today? Why were you outside? Well, it's a hell of a nice day. I started a project yesterday that I had fretted over for about a year, and I thought it was just not going to work out. The bathroom remodel. Okay, I've just been buying stuff, and it's easy for me to buy stuff. I always say it's easier to buy than sell. So I've been buying stuff for the bathroom. Now the shower pan's here, and there's a support to build a corner seat and a niche. That's a box. Niche is a box that you put in the wall, so you can set soap on it or whatnot. That's not going to be enough. I got some other ideas, but okay. So I'm running out, so I got to start actually doing stuff now. So I'm doing stuff, but I'm still making parts, and parts I'm making are marble shelving. I'm doing all the marble right now. So last fall I researched how to cut marble, and I bought myself it's like a little mini handsaw, circular saw. It's 10 amp. It's got a heavy motor in it. The blade's only 4 inches. It only cuts about an inch marble, about that thick. And then I bought a polisher, which I was also able to buy a router head for. So what I did was, 7 years ago, I was with a friend in the outskirts of Chicago delivering a sculpture. The phone! Delivering a sculpture. We had to stop at a marble yard for some reason. There was some tie into the sculpture. And they had all these scraps. And I said, hey, what do you do with the scraps? And they said, well, you want some of them? I said, yeah. I threw them in the truck. I had no idea what I would ever do with them. So they've been sitting out back for about 7 years. So one of the scraps was about a 6-foot piece of, 7-foot piece by about this thick of this pinkish marble, okay? So I took the saw and basically had to make 2 cuts plus the 3rd cut, the notch. Just like cutting through wood. Nearly. I made 4 passes because I watch guys cut porcelain on YouTube, and they're always like, score, pass, you know. It's too much, and porcelain's going to be harder, I guess, maybe than this. But 4 passes, probably could have done 2 if I would, you know, been slow, but I made 4, and it just cut right through it. It was so awesome. So then I got out the router, put the router bit on, and that was expensive. That was $65. Anyway, I'm like, I hope this works. And it worked great. I rounded it all over. Don't know if you can see that. And then I took the router bit off and put the polisher bit. There's like 8 polishing discs, and they're weird. They're kind of like plastic. I can't tell one from the other. They're colored and numbered differently, but obviously they do different. They have different some kind of anyway. But I polished the edge. That's what it looks like raw. That's what it looks like polished. I know I'm going on and on about this, but I'm so pleased that this first part of the project that I was sure. And I just got to say that, well, you bought a tool, you know, like maybe you bought $300 worth of tools, maybe more than that. Well, when you go look for soap dishes or stuff like that, it's like this. By the way, there's 6 of these, and they go on each side of the sink into the corner. There's a niche I'm building for the sink, and these will go in, and then my wife can set all of her potions and lotions. She hoards bottles of whatnot until one day I come in and say, this is funny, I got to tell the story. So, the cabinet I had to get rid of to rearrange all the elements. I had to move everything in this new bathroom. The shower goes, the tub comes out, the shower moves, plumbing moves, electric moves. So there's a cabinet in there. I had to get rid of it. So I'm throwing all these bottles out that are almost full. I mean, super spray, mist, foam hair holder, slick down, you know, gel. I mean, 20 bottles of this stuff, and I have to run it by. You want no? And after about the 10th bottle, she's getting angry that I'm asking her. Super spreads. No! Throw it out! So anyway, so the niche is where the shower's going, where the cabinet was, and then the sink's going on the other side of the room. There's 2 niches. Actually, it's one niche divided by a wall where the plumbing's going. Anyway, so I'm out here today cutting the seat, making a shower seat out of another scrap of marble, which is not this color. It's more of a buff color with black in it. And I had a really nice piece of, really weird end broken piece of black marble with some white quartzy stuff in it. But right now I can't see. It was too small for the shower seat. That's what I was going to use it for. So I've got records to share. I went to Half Price Books today. And I'm just going to, I bought, most of them are 50 cents. I found a couple in the high price bins. And we'll get to those last. Boko Haram, Water Shade of Pale, it's got to be one of my favorite songs ever. There's just something dramatic and mysterious, and the way it's built. I mean, it's just like such an iconic, sort of interesting. Nothing touches it. It's in a class of its own. I don't know. But it's just like this is some kind of that's electronically reprocessed for stereo. Was the record in mono? And is this? And why would they say Gary Booker? I didn't research this. I don't know, and I don't really collect this kind of music. But Gary Booker, it's like Gary Booker voice and piano. Mathal Fisher, Hammond organ, Robin Trower. It must be. Was Robin Trower in? Really? See, I didn't research it. I didn't know. Lead guitar. It must be the original band. But why would they go and they put all those names like that and like say what they did on? I'm sure it's going to be extremely forgettable. That's why I bought it. The cover's extremely forgettable. It's on Allegro Royale. Definitely going to be worse than forgettable. It's going to be something you just want to throw across the room before you finish it. But that's why I buy those things. This could be good. This could be a feature. Could be a feature from this, a sample from this. Kid Howard and his New Orleans jazz band at Zion Hill Church. Something Smith. I blogged one of their albums. It's 3 redheaded guys. I don't think they were brothers, or were they? I don't remember. I researched them. Now I don't remember. You know, my memory. I'm not going to go into that again. So, Something Smith and the Redheads. But I pulled it out, the 50-cent bin, and I noticed it was autographed to Marion. It was wonderful meeting you, Something Smith. He signed it. That's not his name. But they had a good sense of humor, okay. Discotheque by the Dovels. Were the Dovels? Was it a real group, or just because it's on Wine Code and it's like the Frug, the Jitterbug, it's all those songs they took that set and put it on 1,000 records and put it in different covers. I don't know. Anyway, but it's a made-up band. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a really groovy photograph of a really groovy jukebox with the guys stuck, cut out, and their heads pasted up there, whoever they are. This could be fun. There could be a sample from this. It's Carmen McRae, and I kind of remember her from like the Merv Griffin show, you know. But she does a bunch of like sort of modern songs on this, including Gloomy Sunday, which is one of my favorite compositions. That's kind of a crazy cover, isn't it? Music for listening, Al Slack. That's like Al Slack. It's like, and this is not Something Smith. This is a group called Smith. It has nothing to do, unless this woman here is the daughter of Something Smith. Who's Lincoln Myogra? Did I pronounce that right? Of course, I probably didn't. Meet the Vogues. When they weren't window dressing, they were making records, the Vogues. I made that part up. They were never window dressers, were they? I've never seen before. And I picked it up especially because he does classical gas. And it's kind of like a weird sort of like James Bondsy. Like, what are they doing here? They're outside somewhere. There's steam coming up out of a sewer. There's a cheesecake model. And then on the inside, there's a model wearing, she's kind of wearing one of those dresses. It's sort of like, it's like a shorts and a top and like plastic holding both the short part and the top part together. I don't know. It's just a weird cover. Their covers are they're just great. They're just great. Look at that woman. I mean, you know what they're saying here, and she's kind of rough, a little rough looking. Just an interesting choice for a model. It's Erik Satie. I just like that cover. Okay, I don't know what to expect from it other than this album, which I paid like $6 for, is the Electronic Spirit of Erik Satie. It's the same guy. And this one says it's modern chamber orchestra, contemporary chamber orchestra with Satie, I think perhaps playing the Moog synthesizer. Alright, so this probably has some electronic component. You would think from the cover it would. I don't know. Oh my God, I left out a great story. Two great stories. Probably I'm going to tell one, but if I tell two, that's just the way it goes. So, here it is. It's an industrial frickin' toaster, okay? Our toaster went bad. It's a 4-slot toaster, and one of the 2 pairs of slots failed to stay down. Okay, so I get online, I'm looking at 4-slot toasters, and they're all pretty pricey, you know. 4 slots, you go from 2 to 4. It gets to be sort of expensive. So I go on eBay and I find this Waring 4-slot toaster. Well, it's 4 slots. Actually, 2 slots for bagels. And I'll get into that. And I'm like, oh my God. And they make the new models is probably just the same, but the styling's a little bit different. Anyway, it's about $400. Okay, so it's $75 with shipping is a bid. Okay, so I was like, oh God, I think this is awesome. I'm going to bid on it. It'll probably make great toast. All right, so I bid on it. It's like I get it for $76. I'm sure the seller's like, what? $76? That doesn't seem fair. I have to pay for shipping, and it's as much as shipping a cinder block. It's as heavy as a cinder block. So I get it in a box with almost no packing. The knobs have worn through the outside of the box. It's shipped UPS. I have to thank the UPS driver for not breaking my damn toaster. Did it come UPS? It must have. I don't remember. Don't remember now. Or, oh, it was FedEx. FedEx driver hasn't indicated that he knows me yet, so to hell with them. No. Anyway, so, but it's not broken. It's so tough, it's not broken. I can't believe it. I'm very happy it's not broken. So I pull it out, and the first thing I notice is the plug is different. Now, I've never worked in a restaurant, okay? And they didn't say this in the listing, but it runs, the plug is configured to not to plug into a standard 15 or 20 amp outlet. It will run off of that, and I've been running it off of that, one side of it, but because it draws more than 20 amps, it needs to go on a 30 amp breaker. So now, I'm forced to buy wire, $70 worth of wire, about $100 worth of stuff, and figure out how to rewire one of the outlets in my kitchen. I could do it. I figured it out, and I could do it, and I got the stuff. So I'm going to do that. Why? Because I love the toaster, okay? First of all, the bagel side. Now, I think some toasters we had, they say they're wide enough for bagels, but when you put the bagel in, it toasts on both sides, okay? Well, I never thought about it, but the commercial toaster, Waring toaster, has heating elements on just one side of the bagel slot. So you only toast the flat side. Brilliant. And I thought, this would be great for hamburger buns too. You could toast one side of a hamburger bun. And then you put the toast in the regular toast slots, okay? I turned it up about halfway. And what it does is it toasts it so fast that it doesn't toast the thicker bread, at least that I eat, which is a little bit thicker. Wonder Bread, you're just going to set on fire. Just don't toast Wonder Bread. You're just going to set it on fire. So the regular toast that I toast on the outside, leaving the inside chewy, and it makes great sandwiches. The toast is better. Far superior to the non-professional toaster I was using. Thank God it broke and I threw it out and got this one. Spent $100 to buy wire and outlets and a 30 amp breaker. That's it. That's the story. So I woke up this morning. Here's the other story. I woke up this morning and I went into my wife and I had this weird dream. This is why it's like I had to tell somebody. So she's getting ready for work and I said, hey, honey, what? I said, before I got up, I had a dream that I was already up, but I was asleep. So I was dreaming that I was awake. And she looks up, she says, well, everybody dreams that they're awake. I'm like, I said, no, it wasn't like I dreamt I was on Mars, that I was awake on Mars. I dreamt that I was awake here just now, but I was still sleeping. And then she looked up and paused, looked up and said, well, I never dreamed that I'm awake on Mars. And it's, like,
some day is gloomy, my hours are slumberless. Dearest, the shadows I live with are numberless. Little white flowers will never waken you, not where the black coach of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thought of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you? Gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday, with shadows I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. Soon there'll be candles and prayers that are sad, I know. Let them not weep. Let them know that I'm glad to go. Death is no dream, for in death I'm caressing you with the last breath of my soul. I'll be blessing you. Gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday. Dreaming I was only dreaming. I wake and I find you asleep in the deep that my dream never haunted you. My heart is telling you